Anambra State Government has banned the distribution of food items and other gifts to street beggars in public spaces, particularly under the Aroma Bridge in Awka, the state capital, and other locations. The state government also banned all forms of public begging, loitering, and street trading beneath the bridges in Awka, insisting that the move became necessary to uphold the dignity and order of the capital city, which is the face of the state. A statement released by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Anambra State Capital Territory Development Authority, Osi Onuko, on Thursday stated that the directive is part of the state government's efforts to sanitize the capital city and maintain public order. Onuku said anyone found violating this new directive will be arrested and prosecuted. He, however, cautioned content creators, philanthropists, and charity groups against distributing food, cash, or any form of arms to street children and beggars in public spaces, particularly well, while acknowledging that some of the charitable acts were for good intentions. He expressed concerns that they are inadvertently contributing to the continued loitering and congregation of destitute individuals in dangerous locations. Well, we can say it's a plausible part where he lauded that, okay, this decision, Almsgiving, is a good intention towards the people. But if you have good intentions, if you feel that Almsgiving is a good way of, in one way or the other, alleviating poverty. I've had a conversation with you where you said begging is a profession. I remember. What do you have to make of this decision by the Anambra State Government to ban a public almsgiving and street begging?
Well, it's a government policy. The truth is our governance is dynamic. And there may be innate reasons why government has to go into this. As a matter of truth, these people, this begging sometimes is abusive. I would have also asked government to do a particular thing. Where are these beggars coming from? From what state? They are from what state origin? Where are they coming from? You'll be able to insulate where and where are they. There can be conversations within the people. Before the so to say MD of the Enugu whatever capital city going to this, that should be proper arrangement. He would have been able to take a survey and know who is involved. What kind of thing do they do? The same content portal who provide this charity gifts and so on and so forth. And we start with them. Because what they are saying now is loitering and the dirty environment. It's expensive to maintain a city. You don't know the level of waste this thing generates.
Well, are there higher percentage of people that loiter the city on streets beggars? If we may look at that, I don't know if you've seen a situation where you see a passenger.
They're not saying only. They didn't say just the beggar. They also mentioned the street trading.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but this decision now is one of the aim is to reduce congestion on the road and stop street loitering.
Why? It has to do with security, whether people like it or not. So, I can tell you that some of them even hired ammunition within where they seated. Some of them are convoyers of criminalities. Now, the truth is this, like I would say, to some extent, before you carry certain policies, there must be a social nest, there must be a place where this can go. Where would this go back to? That's why I need to, I'm saying, find out where are they coming from, which state are they? If we are from River State, translate with the state government, move your own people to your state. Because people go where there is opportunity.
Okay.
Well, for the fact that there is a lot of gifts they are flowing, people fly in. People will find a way to Anambra State so that they can eat, so that they can enjoy, they can benefit from the legis. That's one thing. But it's not a bad policy to say. Sometime in the past, when we have a war against indiscipline, though time passed, there was discipline. After all, there were no street beggars. At a stage, those women who cover their hair with these telephone bags at time, if you blow out of here, you go and find that thing. The people will chase you until you come and pick that thing you threw on the street. So there should be street guard. There should be street guards.
So since you said that begging is an act, is a profession, I'm quoting you. I hope I did not misquote you.
That one was
Isn't
subjective.
that
There's a
an act
particular
of
begging you
removing-
complained.
Isn't
There are people went to the hospital and they brought sick people and they were funded to stay on the street. It's different from this one.
Yes.
This one, there are people who are impaired, who are incapacitated, disabled people. Where are they coming from? From what states do they come from?
Okay, so now your main decision, your main point here is they should be taken to wherever
To their states.
Then the indigents, some of them that
You
are actually engaged
you
in
provide
this begging
opportunity for them.
activities.
Yes. Let me tell you, if I'm from River State now, the River State government, Minister of Social or whatever, want to sanitize the streets. You start by finding where are these coming from. Okay, you find out a lot of them come from outside your state. And among those creating problems, insecurity, issue of hygiene problems, and the waste issues in your state. You isolate them, get them from your state, put them somewhere, open opportunity for them. If they are from Anambra, move them to Anambra State. If you are from Igbo, move them to Imo. Friend, not send them to that state. Let the state government take care of them. And moreover, before you take such action, you'll be able to identify where you are taking them to. Most of them do not have homes. This is just simple. If you are from River State government want to remove the people from the street, where are these people from? From what and what state are they? Some of them are not from Nigeria. Okay, so to make it work, isolate this man from this state. So there must be conversation. You don't just come one day and begin to throw people out of the street. It's one, it is inhuman. You also impede on their own fundamental right, whether I like it or not. Certain policies must have human face, so that you don't match on their own right. Because there can be some social group NGO can go to court and stop you. So there must be proper provision for them. You are taken out of the street. That's a source of livelihood, like I said last time. They are begging to survive. People are dashing them something, waiting their own. But the issue is that they are littering the street. I'll give you bread, you eat bread and throw the waste on the street. And the government will pay to clean the streets. So, in other hand, that is what government is after. City state, the capital of a place is the image of the state. So, if you keep throwing waste here and there, it costs government a lot to clean the state. And these people are begging and not paying taxes. You who is giving them gift is not paying tax to be able to offset the expense government run to clean the street. They will clean tomorrow, the next day is littered. They clean today, the next second is littered.
So in essence, what you're saying that the majority of the street loitering is from the street beggars?
Yes, of course.
And not most citizens of the country. I wanted
an organized citizen have a receptacle area where they throw waste.
I wanted to make a statement. If you've seen a situation where a commercial car with passengers in it, or probably a private car of individuals in it, and probably this passenger is done consuming, and disposes.
That's what I'm telling you.
These things on the streets.
There must be conversations,
and
because most of these vehicles
always been a continuous situation.
I agree. See, every vehicle is mandated to have waste basket. Every vehicle is managed to have a waste basket. Like I said sometimes, no vehicle run alone without belonging to an organization.
Well, most vehicles do not have a waste basket.
I'm coming. There's hardly a commercial vehicle, good commercial vehicle that runs through without belonging to an organization.
Okay.
The government must establish conversations with these organizations. Tell them this is what you must also seek the people. You don't just come one day and throw one policy.
I recall that River State public transport at some time had that as a mandatory situation, that every commercial bus or commercial vehicle.
But the problem is implementation. The problem is implementation.
Okay.
Yes, the drivers may find it difficult to implement because some of the passengers are very stubborn people, like women especially. You know. Women will want to tie their hair with waterproof. Before you know it, they are throwing it. Come on, drain the stuff, they just throw it on tree. So what they will do is how to implement it. You form a guide. There must be a street guide to be able to implement that very policy. Equipment, not just organizing, not just appointing people. They must be equipped. Provide the necessary why would that for them to be able to implement it. So if on this street now, okay, it happened during this Buhari military era, where we have war against indiscipline. In Port Harcourt here, you don't just throw waste anyhow. Okay? You don't also misbehave in a vehicle, what is called motor parks and the garages. Okay. You don't misbehave. That was self-personal discipline. So, if government has a policy to tidy up the environment, to keep the place clean, there must be the capacity to be able to implement that thing.
Okay.
By way of putting organization, there should be a street guide, call it street guide, or waste management, security or whatever we call it, that will monitor these things. Then the respective organizations that own this vehicle membership should also be informed. There should be conversation. This is what we want to do. They also have their own way of controlling their members. It's as good as that.
Okay.
Then you, a passenger, who have your bag or whatever, especially women that carry which, they go with luggages.
I don't know why you keep referring to
Yes. They carry most of, in short, they are.
And not men are not.
Yeah, we've seen where the black women are always treating one chunk or the other.
So you've not seen men dispose most of this waste on the street.
It's not common. It's not common.
You've not seen men dispose.
It's not common.
Well, I also wanted to ask if this reduction or this ban on this streets begging is going to reduce this loitering and congestion.
It will.
Just like the Anambra State Government has.
If you travel around, there's a place I call a kind of beggars camp. I just decided to give to that. Where the resources are coming, you see them, they keep crowding. You see a crowd of them, they keep crowding. In short, the people bring them in the morning and keep them there. In the evening, they come and remove them. Understand what I mean? Okay. I've seen it happen. They get these people. Some of them are don't even have problems. Some of them are not even incapacitated. They're not disabled. They pretend. They find sick and start. I know one man who wears a cloth, put his hand inside, and remain like this. You think that is disabled? No. So, in a way, I support this thing since it's not only beggars only. Street trading. Go along Rumokoro side. They should also go as far as dealing with Aguro people.
Okay, I will also come back to that. Well,
the touts also part of littering and littering.
Okay. All right, Chief, we'll still come back to you. With us here also at the studio is Comrade Onem Okenya, is the Ngeni Youth Assembly President, also a member from Rivers Ethnic Youth Leaders Council Forum. Thank you so much for being here, sir. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I also wanted to ask, do you agree with Chief Wale over what he said on this decision by the Anambra State Government to ban streets begging and almsgiving?
I think actually I came when the program was already on, and while seated there, I heard so many things that he was saying. Some of the ideas and suggestion that he gave was actually in line, because this issue of street trading is something that the government, street begging and street trading is something that the government actually need to do something, because these people are constituting nuisance to the society. Just as he said, one thing about our government is to say a thing, and another thing is implementation. How will they enforce this thing that they have just said? That is another thing. That the government actually need to take a decisive action and bring in modalities in which to tackle this thing. We've seen a situation whereby government will just say we want to ban street trading, street begging and all of that, but when it is time for enforcement, they find it very difficult to do it. So it is something that the government should put into action
and be serious about it.
Thing that they said that they want to do, and endeavor to ensure that these things
it's holistic.
Okay. Did you? Okay.
He also mentioned about bringing a kind of sanitation guide or. If you walk around the street of Port Harcourt, you see that the whole place are messed up. Port Harcourt, as it is stinking. There is nowhere in Port Harcourt that you go to and you see death all over. And at some point, those who are saddled with the responsibility of evacuating those things are just there doing nothing. What they are just after is money, how to get the money, So if Anambra State Government can enforce this thing, I think it's going to go a long way in ensuring that there is sanity in the state.
Okay.
It's a good one. I somewhat enjoy
so you do not think that will increase insecurity or possibly make most of these individuals engage in some fraudulent activity?
No. I don't think it's going to bring about
he made mention of an individual that, disguises with his arm, puts it into the cloth and, what's the word? Deceive people into believing that he's one-handed just to get arms from them. Imagine an individual that can have that intention when this almsgiving and street begging gets to be taken away from him. Decisions that he would want to take in order to get money or make daily livings.
Anyone that is found committing any crime should pay for it.
Okay.
Should pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
But what I also want to say is that you see what Chief has just said. It's not just that. You see a full-grown man who is complete, whose arms are complete and intact. You see them begging. I've witnessed such pain. You see a man who walk up to you and say, bros, please, I want to go to Bayelsa, and you don't have 2,000 naira, 2,500 naira, and you are rightly in the park that you want to go to Bayelsa. They should complete, your transport fare for you. And sometimes they give them the money, they won't go.
He goes all over.
So we've witnessed things like this. If Anambra State Government can put their words in action, I think it's good. And I will also advise every other state to emulate such,
All right. Well, Chief Ali, quickly, you made mention about Rumokoro market area. They have
that flavor.
Yes. Do you know the reason why most of these market traders are on the road? Do you have an idea why they're still on the road?
Well, the common thing is that the common is profit selling their wares.
Well, you know that they have markets that they said has been constructed for them to display their wares. Look, up till now, they have not been given access to use most of those markets. So do you blame individuals that want to be... I'm not saying it's an ideal situation. I wanted to find out from you because you made mention about most of these individuals that are on the streets selling. Some of them had markets deep down into some designated area. But I don't know how to put it. Certain decisions by a particular government could, demolish most of those markets or want to reconstruct it with reasons that they give and say, oh, we're going to run this market into your taste, where you people can get to display your wares into those places. But we do not see those things turn out to be what actually wants to be. And this will push most of the individuals to patch down the road to display their wares. So do you blame them for those decisions?
There is one thing in media management. Those of us or those of you in journalism should take out people's chat, go to the public and ask questions.
I have asked
that
questions.
Should be proper investigation.
Let me also tell you. That is why I'm asking
now,
you
let
this
me
question.
Let me tell you.
Particularly, you made mention of the
I'm coming now. I made
Do you
mention,
know that they have a Rumokoro market?
Maybe you didn't hear me well.
Okay.
As I added it, I will go through it.
All right, please.
I said if that Rumokoro touts, those who are around, getting passengers for people, collect money for you and destabilize the vehicular movements, and even if you don't dispossess what you have. Now, let me talk about the market issue. There are one major people in pretend that are very impatient as traders. They are very highly impatient. I can tell you, I come from Malo, come to our market. There are empty stores at the back. They want to store on the road because they want to do a fast sale, and they litter the place. This is why I'm saying. You may have met one or two people. I can tell this Rumokoro as you're going now. There are sheds inside. Some want to cut corners. They're not ready to pay the appropriate and have their sheds. And of course, where we're marketing Rumokoro, the market Rumokoro near the Rumokoro water side by Roma it's an individual spots by that waterfront. It's an individual spot. Then this area was created some time ago as a motor park. But when the government come again, they discover that there are a lot of people in other part of private marketing spot, even up to the waterfront. They are lining their wear on the shores of the water, shores of that stream. Are you getting me?
Okay.
Little thing it can fall in. It's also have to do security and health hazard. Safety. Have you gone to Rumokoro market? That place called Rumokoro. It's Orumodamaya. You see women, every time I mention women, putting their goods, their wares by the edge of that stream. Are you getting me? And they, of course, they also caused erosion problem. They also caused water flow problem because most of the ways they throw it inside that water. They create artificial water hyacinth and water does not flow. Sometimes people fall inside that that is like it has gone out to canal. Okay? Now, government said no. Let's see how you can expand and allow people come in. They came and built this place. Some of them does not really have shade. That place was not a marketplace before. This room Okoro, this I call this part of this airport road, Import Road. That was not like market in the. It was a park. I believe so. But in the wisdom of the government, since the other is becoming overflow and people are trading on the street and so on and so forth, let us create safety and allow vehicular movement. Do you know the dispossess that even your vehicle? If you don't wind up, they can take anything from your vehicle. They even snatch vehicle attack crowded environment.
So you're saying that aside street beggars, these individuals that stop taxes, commercial drivers, collect money should be controlled.
Yeah, they should control because one, they're illegal.
Okay.
They're illegal.
I thought they have association of someone.
No, let me tell you what happened with inside houses. Let me tell you, I'm an man. They have some say this is community owned, this is community owned, this is community. They keep stock. In short, they even create transport. When people want to charge their transport fare, they build it inside their own cost. Something that will cost you from this junction to 100 naira, they tell you 300 naira. Do you know what? They build those costs for those people. Before you move from that room Okoro to this area, you have set more than three checkpoints. From nowhere, one boy will just run with stick. Stop, bring community on. They collect from you. I don't know if you understand what I mean. The government should look into it critically. That is one major. And they also need train. Those guys are seeing the any moment they are throwing water waste. They are eating anything, they are throwing away. They don't want to, they say what you concern with overload. And if before you know they will hit your vehicle so that they break your screen and beat you up. So if you must do this kind of thing like my brother, it must be holistic.
Okay, sir.
Okay? All so right. That is my interest. It must be holistic. The worst, have you been to Onitsha?
Yes. Onitsha
can steal your, even as you're driving along, they'll take your shoe from you. If you bring mistakenly bring a hand, they'll cut his hand because of this one. So if they want to do it, it must be holistic because there are a lot that litter the sea. Litter is not just dropping waterproof, dropping waste. Litter concerns also people's safety. Do you know you can be moving this year week, they will just put and take it away from you. So like my brother is saying here, there must be spirit of discipline, there must be spirit of implementation. It's not just getting a job for the boys. So because this is now, you see what will happen now. See this is in Anambra. The boys will come down and begin to harass people. Well, the government say, and they collect money from you.
Okay.